All right, we got the main floor all sheathed. Everything's been glued and nailed down. What you see is the entire main floor plate. What you'll notice also is the interior walls have also been framed out. This is just for the purpose of getting an idea of where those walls will be erected later on. In the meantime, we'll be working on the exterior walls. All the bottom plates are put in. Later on, we're gonna have the walls assembled on the ground and then sheathed, all the window openings cut out and prepared, and the walls eventually tilted up in place. Now, while the framers are upstairs doing this layout, let's go have a look at the preparations that we made in the basement level. All right, now check out the basement walls. These swirl marks represent the areas that we're grinding that had little imperfections in the concrete where they stuck up between the form boards. This is where the concrete was squeezed out during the pour. That's always unavoidable, but with a bit of grinding, it's been removed. Now, the purpose of having these all grinded down is so later on, when we put the insulation in place, everything is nice and flat against the wall. You see, now there's no more space. So you want to have the insulation as tight as possible to the surface of the concrete to be 100% effective. So from the previous episode, we talked about fire stopping, and then this is where we get into a bit more details about it. So this area here we're standing in is a basement suite, which is a secondary suite. The other side of the house, on the other side of this wall, is actually the master's unit. So that's where the upstairs would occupy separate basement suite here. Now, to separate these two areas, typically you're required to fire stop the two areas through the joist spaces and the walls. How we address that at the joist space is, from a closer look here, we've installed TJIs, but note we didn't just install TJIs as blocking, they're cut to the contour of this TJI. You see how the little pieces there have been chopped out just to fit in place. With a bit of fire caulking added to that, this would suffice as fire stopping from one area to the next. So it's good to do it now, and the trades will eventually be drilling through there, and that also will be fire stopped and properly drywalled to make it a full fire assembly from one unit to the next. Another detail here we talked about before is using the 2x12 plates here. So this is where it extends from the outside of the foundation wall inside. In the future, a wall will be constructed like this, okay? First of all, we'll have insulation on the wall, followed by a half-inch air gap, and then a wall will be erected like this. This part will be extended out a bit to capture the full thickness of the stud, but you can see here, there's no way of fire going through this solid blocking area. So let's check back tomorrow and see if we can get a couple of walls up and start looking like a real house.